Hey guys, thanks so much for joining. I literally love that song so much. Like it's
That is so catchy, isn't it?
I'm just dancing behind the scenes. I apologize for my sleepy face. I am so tired still. It's only 9 a.m., so still quite early for me. You guys know since I've been in New York, I've gotten up.
Oh my God, I completely forgot.
Yeah.
When I was like telling you times, I was like, yeah, like 2 o'clock, 1:30, forgetting it was like really early for you. Oh my God, I'm so sorry.
No, don't worry. Yesterday I woke up around 4 a.m. to be on Premier League today, and I was kind of like stirring until like 4:30.
Oh, how was it?
It went well. I'm so annoyed because there was an answer that I had prepared that I forgot to say, and I kind of like went with something else that was a little repetitive. So I'm like killing myself over that.
No,
but,
don't.
I mean,
I'm
it was
sure
so early. I was like, and it made sense. It just wasn't what I had planned. So I'm upset that I didn't do what I had planned. I'm such a perfectionist, and I was like coming off feeling like, oh my God, I did so well. I thought that I really had a good flow today, and then I realized on a stream later, I was like, oh my God, I didn't say this. They had a graphic prepared and everything.
Happens all the time.
Yeah, okay, that makes me feel better. I'm just such a perfectionist that I'm like, oh, I really want this to go absolutely perfect. But it was nice. So I've been literally waking up between 4:30 and 5-ish every day to prepare for that.
You're mental.
So today I ended up waking up like 4 and then I snoozed until 6, so making progress.
Nice, yeah.
The jet lag. But when I say like I've been literally going to bed at like 8 p.m., like
I would be the same, 100%.
Yeah.
Not a morning person.
And I wanted to go to the city, but now like the cases are like so bad.
Yeah.
Like
it's not worth it.
I know, and it's a shame. I haven't been to the city in so many years, like 2 years now because of COVID.
Yeah.
It's just every time I come, it's not a good time, and I don't know. So I probably am not going to go. If I live by myself, I might consider it, but since I'm with my family. Anyways, you guys aren't here to hear about New York. You're here to talk about Fantasy Premier League. And Olivia, I literally had a good game week last week. I cannot believe it. No, it's crazy. For some reason, Marcus Alonso is listed as having kept a clean sheet.
Well, so you know why?
Why? Oh, because he came off before we conceded.
So he came off after 60 minutes, so the clean sheet was banked. And then so you got your Marcus Alonso 6 points.
Oh my God. That is the best news.
Honestly, so jammy. So jammy.
Oh my God. I was like, they're going to take this away.
Yeah, like
this is a mistake. Oh my God. So last week, let me just look at my points. I ended up with 77.
I got 72. So I think that's the Alonso's the difference basically, because I didn't have Alonso.
So I think that did I tell you? No, you weren't on when I literally went rogue last week.
Did you?
I took a -8 again because I transferred out Conor Gallagher. I was so pissed that I transferred him out. He goes and scores 2 goals. I was like, you've got to be joking.
You put him back in and he blanked.
I put him back in. Yeah. But I was like, honestly, I can't be asked, like, for this price point, he's scoring so many goals, like, even though, because I was thinking, well, he had blanked in like 4 consecutive game weeks. So he has been playing like a bit out of position. Palace hasn't been playing well. And then he went and got that. So I was like, you know what? I'm just going to transfer him into my team. I had Bowen. I transferred him back out. Turns out not to have made a difference. So I'm really not too bothered about that. And then who was the other one? So I transferred in Gallagher, in Mount, in Antonio, but only because I wanted money for Mason Mount.
Yeah.
Um,
I don't
and
have
Mason ended up scoring.
I
So
don't have he yeah, I feel like I've missed the boat with Mount, so I haven't gone for him, but I had Watkins was my transfer this week.
nice.
I haven't had him for ages, and I was like, do you know what? I'm so fed up of Jamie Vardy not playing for Leicester, and like I had an inkling that their game was going to like be off anyway. So I went Watkins. I went Vardy to Watkins, and then I put in Gabriel. The Arsenal defender's got 6 points for him. So yeah, I got 72 points, and I was really happy with that because I was at the start of the game week. I was like started off really well. Ollie Watkins 12 points, like loved it. Then Bernardo Silva came off, and it started to like unravel because I was like, great, like
I
don't have
was like,
Foden.
literally, how did they beat Leeds 7-0?
Yeah, I know. Well, that's what we should have done today. Do you know what I mean?
Two City assets don't get anything. Well, Cancelo wasn't eligible to play.
Yeah, I had Cancelo on my bench. But the problem is going forward now, Bernardo Silva's got an exclamation mark next to his name, and I want Phil Foden for Newcastle away. But I don't have enough money for Phil Foden because unless I transfer out someone that has a game. But I just think for this week, that's ridiculous. There's no point me transferring out like Damari Gray, you know, because he doesn't have a game.
Guys, I need to reconnect because my Wi-Fi is so bad. So Olivia, just talk for a second, and I will be right back reconnecting my Wi-Fi. Sorry.
I mean, I don't even know how to do this, but I'll just look at some like questions. Just watch me on Fanzone. Glad you enjoyed. I mean, I looked much better on Fanzone because I had makeup on. I've taken it off now.
All right. I think it should be better now. I think I connected to a different Wi-Fi.
I was just talking about how awful I look, basically. Because someone just said I watched you on Fanzone, and I was like, yeah, I was good on Fanzone and makeup on. And now I'm like, get rid.
Yeah, I'm moving spots, guys. I'm sorry. You guys can have like a little tour of my parents' house. All right, sorry guys. I am isn't as good and the Wi-Fi isn't as good, so bear with me.
Back.
Alrighty, I think I'm good now.
Yeah.
Sorry, guys. Okay, now I'm out of breath after going up the stairs. So sorry, what were you talking about before my Wi-Fi decided to
I can't. I was just saying there's no point me transferring out of my team someone that has a game. Do you know what I mean? Like I have to keep players in my team that have a game because that's completely pointless for this game week. But the only two that don't have a game are
I'm looking at my
Dennis and Sanchez, and I don't want to take a hit to change goalkeeper. And Dennis, like he's my only, like I don't. There is not one striker I like the look of for this game, so I'm probably just gonna potentially take out Gray and put in Gundogan, just for another Man City asset because they're away at Newcastle and they've got a nice run of games.
I haven't decided. I was thinking about rolling my transfer, to be honest with you, because the only player in my team right now that I'm really not happy about is Marcus Alonso. But I don't even know like who I would pick because I already have Ramsdale in goal, so I don't want to double up on Arsenal defense. And other than that, like I was thinking maybe Spurs, but I just feel like since they haven't played, they're also playing Liverpool, so I'm not going to transfer in a Spurs asset when they're going to be playing Liverpool. I think I might just roll my transfer and stick with Marcus Alonso for this game week.
Yeah, I think so because I think like Wolves, I say don't tend to score a lot. They don't, but it would just be so typical that they do against us. But for this game week, there is no point not wasting a transfer on a player that you know is going to play and that has got a game. I would absolutely keep him in your team and just roll it and just go with it because it's not like he's a bad option. Like he does get attacking returns. He came off yesterday, so he will start against Wolves if the game goes ahead. Yeah, which I hope it doesn't because I don't want to sit through another episode of last night.
I mean, last night was just like
I was angry.
I streamed after and I was rewatching it back this morning. Like, I hope that I came across okay.
I honestly don't know how you do it, because I was fuming this
I was
morning.
like trying to hold it in, but I was like, if any of you guys watched my stream from yesterday, let me know. I think I was very, very, very critical, but I didn't blow up. But I was very angry after that game, considering, I don't know if you saw the stats, but we had 20 shots and like, I don't know, like 10 on target or something like that.
Makes me angry all over again.
Oh no.
But anyway, back to FPL, and yes, keep Marcus Alonso.
Keep Marcus Alonso. Yeah. So you think that Marcus Alonso is going to be the starting left wing back, despite the amount of fixtures that Chelsea have?
We don't have anyone else. Hudson-Odoi got COVID. Pulisic was useless there yesterday. Marcus Alonso is an out-and-out left wing back, so it just makes sense to play him there. And if you want to change things up, bring him off. But the fact he came off yesterday makes me think that he's definitely going to start against Wolves.
Okay, makes sense. Hello, nice to have you joining. Thanks so much for joining. I appreciate it. If you guys have any questions about your fantasy team, I kind of have been ignoring the chat because we've been chatting, but if you guys have any questions, so it's like, I just watched Olivia on Fan Zone.
I was just saying, I looked much better because I had a full face of makeup on, and since then I was like, get off my face.
You literally don't need makeup. Like, that's crazy. I'm the same way though. I don't really wear makeup anymore, guys, either, because it just feels weird.
Yeah.
I don't know. Andrew says, I sold Reece James and he gets a goal contribution at last. I'm holding on to Reece James. I think he's one of those players that, wait, what do you want to say?
He is one yellow card away from a suspension.
Yeah, that's true. But for me personally, I have enough depth in my team. Well, I had enough depth in my team. So because I wouldn't transfer him out, because I still want
for one
to have him
game
in my team, and just for one game. And I do have enough. I can't say that enough depth.
Yeah.
It's hard. I do have enough so that somebody could come off of the bench. Now with all of the games that are suspended, that's not the case. But for me personally, I'm not transferring him out just for that. And I think like he does have a goal contribution in him.
He should have scored yesterday as well.
Yeah, even if Chelsea aren't keeping clean sheets, he does have a goal contribution in him.
Yeah.
And I do think we'll get back to clean sheets, hopefully, when N'Golo Kante comes back into the team. Hopefully, I don't know if he's like 100% ready versus Wolves.
I think he'll play against Wolves.
I hope he does. I've been saying that we've really been missing N'Golo Kante and Ben Chilwell. So if you guys have any Chelsea defensive assets, I would at least hold on to them at least until like the Liverpool-ish game and then reassess. 71 points is super good. I think the average was like 40, 45. So do you have any must buys or must sells in your team this week?
I mean, for anyone that's still got Jamie Vardy in their team, one, I don't know why you'd still have Jamie Vardy in your team. Get rid, and that frees up so much money because there's not a lot of premium forwards that are playing games consistently because they've had them called off, or that are actually performing like you should. Like I obviously put in Vardy and then took out Vardy, put in Watkins, and then I upgraded my centre back and I've still got 2.2 mil in the bank. So it just frees up a lot of money. Buy wise, I think you know another City attacker. You know, you've got probably not Sterling, but Foden, Bernardo, Gundogan. I just think they look so good at the moment.
Yeah,
and they just look like running riot.
They do
all the time.
That's like the key difference, I think, is that
They're just
they
ruthless.
always look like scoring 3, 4, 5. In the case of Leeds, 7 goals. It's crazy. An attacking option that I do want to talk about that Andrew mentioned here is Armando Broja. He's 5.1. He has 4 goals and 1 assist so far this season. He's looked really strong, so he could potentially be an option if you. I don't think that there's any quality like premium options right now. Like
No,
Lukaku is out. I personally am kind of holding off on Ronaldo. It's just like a ton of money. Vardy, like you said, is out. Harry Kane, I'm not investing in.
no.
So he could be a good option that if you want to invest funds somewhere else, like in your midfield, and you can open up places like money elsewhere.
Money, yeah.
What do
The
you
only
think?
thing is, with them is they haven't got a game this week. They've got West Ham away. They've then got Spurs. They've got a nice fixture in game week 21, which is the 2nd of Jan, and that's Newcastle at home. But after that, they then got Wolves, Man City, Spurs, and Man United again. So, like, I mean, you could, if you're not happy with, your striking options, bring in Armando Broja and have him on your bench because he'd be a great option. Because, I mean, after the game midweek, he's definitely going to play. You can't not play him. 2 brilliant goals, 2 brilliant finishes. And yeah, he is a good option, like you say, to save a bit of money. I'm not saying start him every week, but it's handy to have on the bench so that when they do have Newcastle at home, that's a pretty good fixture to play him in.
Yeah, no, I totally agree. And I mean, I think if you're just going to bench him as well, it's super cheap player to have on your bench if he ends up coming off because somebody
Yeah,
like got injured or a game got postponed or
yeah.
whatever. Osama says, I'm afraid Spurs versus Liverpool will be postponed and I'll have 5 players left.
Oh yeah, if Spurs versus Liverpool goes, we're all absolutely. I mean, I wish I would swear, but I'm not going to. We are all absolutely
Right.
just yeah. It's not even worth thinking about. Genuinely, if I look now, if I have hilarious. So if I don't make any subs, right, and the Liverpool Tottenham game goes, I have 1, 2, 6 players, and one of them's got an exclamation mark.
I would have. Hold on. Let me pick my team. I would have.
That can't go. I mean, I think
I would have 7 players.
Yeah.
One of them has an exclamation mark.
Oh God, it's not even worth thinking about.
So, question for you, Liv. In this case, do you think that it would be worth taking a free hit if you have like 5 players available?
Yeah, I mean, if you're willing to take a -8, you can do like a mini wild card and free up. You can then have 9 players, or 8 players. It may be worth doing that, but a free hit is used for this is the exact reason why they put in a free hit because. But then obviously, if you use your free hit now, when there's like loads of double game weeks or there's just like one game week where you then can't use it for that, so it's difficult. It really is difficult to try and work out when would be the best time to use it. But this is a good example of you've got 4 players playing, which is likely. That is a possibility for people if that Liverpool Spurs game goes. If Liverpool Spurs game and Chelsea Wolves go, people are done. I think I'll have about 2 players playing.
I think, like, for me, like you said, I think everybody would basically be more or less in the same boat as well. I just don't like using my chips so early in the season, so I probably just hold off on it because with the amount of games postponed, there's going to be like loads of double game weeks.
Yeah.
So for me, like, oh, I don't know what happened. That was
We're
weird.
We're back.
It wasn't my Wi-Fi for once. I think that I would just hold off on it because I don't think like anybody's going to really like have a good game week. But I'm also like very risk averse with using my chips. And whenever I do use my chips, like it doesn't usually work out anyways. Like you can plan for it, but it really is just like a bit of a matter of luck as well. So Michael asks, is Mason a good option or too late to jump on? He has 4 goals and 2 assists in his last 4 games. I thought he was too late to jump on, and then I just brought him in anyways, and he got a goal. So
yeah, maybe it's not too late. But obviously, you're not going to then gain anything because a lot of people do have him. I mean, he's one of Chelsea's most important players, if not the, him and Thiago Silva for me currently are Chelsea's most important players alongside Kante, but he hasn't been there. And without him, we play awfully. He's been so good, consistent as well the last few games, like you just said, Ellie. He's cheaper as well. Do you know what I mean? So
yeah, right now he's 7.6, I think.
Yeah, so I mean, maybe now is a good time. Like maybe now, jump on him. But
I'm so annoyed I didn't bring him in earlier, but I was like, no, I'm staying away from Mason Mount, not a good FPL asset. And then he's just gone and scored 4 goals in a row. And I think the thing with Chelsea as well is that, like, I don't know, we create a lot of chances, but I feel like Mason's the one who's stepping up and finishing. Like Mason, maybe Reece James, but any other attacker, well, now we don't really have attackers. We have the ones that featured yesterday, and that's about it. But what?
Kai Havertz tested negative, so he's back in training.
Nice.
Very good news.
Brilliant news. I didn't know that.
Yeah, I mean, it's literally just been reported in the last hour or so. There's been no more positive cases, and Havertz had a negative PCR test, so he's back.
Nice. So
thank God. So now no more I know you like Pulisic, but him as a false 9 just
no, it didn't work.
No,
I actually
Kai Havertz being back
is yesterday. Like,
yeah,
I really didn't see what he was doing at all. Unfortunately, I don't understand why we don't play him on the left. Like, I understand in that game because we literally didn't have like a person to play as a striker. But yeah, he hasn't been playing well. We have a question about captaining. So, who are you captaining, especially if the Liverpool game might get called off, so then it's really important who your vice captain is as well if you decide to captain Salah.
Ollie Watkins.
Team.
Ollie Watkins will be mine just because I don't trust the back. I don't want to captain a defender. It could be Salah or Jota, but I don't want to captain 2 and vice captain from the same game just in case that goes. So it's Salah at the moment, and it will be Ollie Watkins. It's my vice. Burnley at home.
I'm low-key thinking about doing Cancelo and going rogue as a vice captain.
I mean, vice captain, you should know the deadline's not until 1:30 tomorrow, and the game's on Sunday. So you will know before the deadline whether your captain will be playing or not. So it's not too much of a big thing. Obviously, the big thing is if that game gets called off, yes, then it will be big on who your then captain is. And Ollie Watkins is mine.
So I have Cancelo facing Newcastle. I think that could potentially be something that's interesting.
Yeah. Mason
Mount has been scoring, but I just don't rely on Chelsea enough right now. So captain somebody from Chelsea. And then Watkins, Aston Villa versus Burnley. That could be a frustrating fixture, but I still do think that they'll get the win. I don't know. If you guys want to go rogue this week, I feel like this is like one of the weeks to do it if Salah doesn't play.
I mean, yeah, that'll be really interesting, I think. It will be, who everyone else goes for because, there's been occasional, someone's captain Jota or someone's captain Bernardo, but really those have been the three, captain choices really. But it will be very interesting with no Salah. But I want the games to go ahead. Ideally I don't want Chelsea's to go ahead, but I think it's going to. So I'm just gonna have to watch that poor frustration and just get irritated all over again. But it's fine. But yeah, I don't know. I would like that game to go on. It'll be like a good watch and be interesting to see how Spurs get on. But yeah, it's going to be interesting.
It is going to be interesting. So VSG says, would you take a -8 to field the starting 11?
Yeah, but only if those players are good for long term. I just don't think there's any point in bringing in players. If you're going to free hit, you bring in players for that 1 week. You pick who has the best fixtures. But with only 5 games being played, if you're going to take a -8, I played with 10 players the other week when I had Sanchez in goal, and that Spurs Brighton game got postponed. And that was the only one at the time. I just played with no keeper because I don't believe I don't want to take a hit for a keeper. So I just played with 10. So you could actually take a -4 and play with 10 if there were players you wanted for the future. Because over Christmas there's so many games, you don't want to be like, it's like a wasted transfer, bringing someone in and just using your transfer to take them out again. So if they're players that you know look at and think they've got good fixtures, or they, you know, it's just so unpredictable at the moment. You know, you don't know which game's going to be called off, which game's going to be on, you know, who's going to be playing or whatever. So it's a little bit difficult.
No set rule either. It just kind of seems like one day you figure out that you find out the game's going to be postponed. So Yogi is like, I'm from New Zealand. It's 3:30 here. What are you doing up?
What are you doing up at 3:30? Go to bed.
Thank you for tuning in, but go to sleep. She or he asks, how many players do you think minimum you should have playing this week?
I mean, I would not want to have any less than like 9, I think. So currently I've got 9, but I'm potentially going to do my one free transfer and bring in someone else that's going to play. But yeah, I just personally wouldn't have, you know, 7 or 8 players. It's tough though, because there is only 5 games. So, you know, a lot of those players aren't playing. So, but I think everyone's in the same boat, if that makes sense. Everyone's in the same boat because everyone has a lot of the same players.
Yeah.
So it's like these little decisions on who you bring in or what you choose to do is like the difference. And it's just
like adds another layer of complexity.
Yeah,
to the game.
Definitely.
I'll run you guys through my team. I have Ramsdale in goal, Cancelo, Trent, James, and Alonso, Salah, Bernardo, Jota, Mount, and then Dennis obviously isn't playing, and Watkins. So I have 10 players currently. And if the Liverpool game gets canceled or postponed, I really don't want to transfer out any of my Liverpool assets, and I don't want to use my free hit just yet. So I probably would just field a really bad team. But it's totally up to you guys and what you decide to do. So Liv, if Liverpool gets canceled, are you using your free hit?
How many players do I have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. I'll probably take a -8 and do 3 transfers and have 9 players playing.
Who would you transfer out?
I'd have a goalkeeper that's playing. That would be my one. I would transfer out Damari Gray and put in Gundogan. That would be 2. I don't know who else. Because everyone's got a game. Like, I can't transfer. Like Dennis, I really like Dennis, and I want Dennis for when like Watford have a game again. You know, they've got some like relatively good fixtures. I say that they've got tough. They've got Wolves, West Ham, and Spurs, and then Newcastle and Norwich. So I want to keep Dennis for all those.
He's scored in difficult fixtures though. I think
exactly. He scored against us, didn't he? He scored against us?
He did. Yeah. With the likes of Reaper, if I remember correctly.
Yeah, so I think I'm gonna keep him. So maybe let's not talk about it, because I think that game's gonna go ahead, and I hope it is, because it will really mess up my whole team if I was to.
Yeah, that's how I'm feeling as well. Like, if I would have to evaluate which players got postponed, but like if it's any Liverpool players, I really don't want to transfer any of them out. I'm very happy with them right now.
Yeah.
I just want to say thank you for this super chat. I really appreciate it. Thank you so much for tuning in, and I hope that the stream is useful to you guys, and that you guys actually, you know, get something out of it, and that helps with your fantasy team. Yeah, he says, I'm up from a work Xmas party. That went late. Like my company had a Christmas party. I didn't go because it was in Madrid and I'm in New York right now. But apparently everybody was home by like 12. So that's absolutely crazy. Is it worth removing Bernardo Silva this week and changing him for Foden or Grealish?
I mean, I think Foden and Grealish are more likely to play, but again, that's more of a sideways step. Like, have you got anyone that's you don't want to keep longer term? Because Bernardo Silva's such a great shout. When he's fit, he starts and he plays every single game, and he's been so good this season, like up another level this season. So I would like, we're not even getting a pet press conference, are we? Because he tested, I think he had an inconclusive COVID test, so he's doing a press conference. So we're not even going to know whether Bernardo Silva's playing or not, which is annoying. But I mean, if you want to do it for 1 week only, because I think Bernardo is definitely a better option than Foden and Grealish. However, I do think both Foden and Grealish will play tomorrow, Sunday. Yeah.
What day is it? I have no
My,
idea. We usually do these kind of on Thursdays. So for a second, I thought it was Thursday. I was like, oh, it's Friday.
yeah.
We have
Friday.
this time Friday, or Fria. I don't. Did you ever watch Sabrina the Teenage Witch when you were younger?
I mean, yeah, back in the day.
Back in the day, so they call it like Salem. The cat called it Fria, and
I actually cannot even remember.
but I love that TV show. But guys, hopefully we got to most of your questions. It's a weird one to prepare for sure. Let's see how we get on with just a couple of games going. But Olivia, as always, thanks so much for joining.
Thanks
I
for having me.
appreciate it.
We'll probably come back on next week and be like crying that our team's done so badly because another 4 games have been postponed and there's only 1 game going ahead or something like that.
Have like an all-time low of like 10 points.
Yeah. Oh.
Honestly. Well, guys, make sure to follow Olivia on Twitter as well. And if you like this, sub to my channel if you want. I don't know. All right, guys. Thanks so much for joining. And until next time, we're out. Bye.